Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Okay, well, this is a fresh story time because this stuff happened today. And I'm going to go into details about the event, the specific event, later on. But just entering and exiting was enlightening because every time I go out, and oh, just a reminder, yeah, especially if you're new, I am the handicapable black woman. I am, for right now, children's book author, but soon to be urban fantasy, science fiction, murder mystery type of author. You know. And because even like while I was at the library, I was calculating and creating a new novel. And at first, I was going to use one character in one book, but now that she's developed into a whole new identity and person, and I love that. So, yay. And I'm such a nerd. But if you've been listening and watching, you already know this. But while there, it's really amusing with how little kids are awesome and they're innocent and they're curious and they prove and show why we need DEI. They show why we need diversity, equity, and inclusion, and why we need to teach it in schools. Because some of them would look at me while I'm walking with my walker, and they would wave and smile, and some would kind of have curious faces like, why is she walking like that, or what's going on with her? And so but they're children. And I love that for them. I love that they are curious and they want to know. They have enough empathy still in their hearts to know and learn. But then the parents, when parents are staring, when a parent pats their either family member or husband, boyfriend's shoulder and then points at me and whispers in their ear, that's rude. That is extremely rude. Don't do that. Don't do that. But you know what? I kept going and I got to a point where I don't know if other people with disabilities get to a certain point where they just ignore everybody around them. And the thing is, I used to be such an extrovert. I used to just want to say hi, hello, give compliments, and I'm very bubbly, cheery, and everything. But now I feel like in order to be more secure, more safe, and not to feel like my mental health is being damaged, I have to block people out. And I have to look just straight ahead, look at my mission, focus, and to in order just to get through and notice people around me because even while entering, there are people that are kind of rushing, but then they halt right behind me and a little intimidating. So I kind of move. I don't like that pressure of them walking right behind my toes. So then I scoot to the side and I just tell them to go ahead of me. And then all of a sudden they're just like, oh, yeah, no, we're sorry, oops. And it's just like, no, just go, just go. It's like if you're literally right at my toes to the point where one of the guests kicks my walker by mistake, it was by mistake, but if you're in that big of a hurry that you don't notice that you're that close to me, and if I lose my balance with my walker, I can fall to the ground and how embarrassing that can be. And also, like, I mean, I'm young enough where it's not going to break anything, but at the same time, I could still get hurt. And it's like, I don't want people at the library all of a sudden like, oh, we need to get this person a specialist in, like we have to, like, all the liabilities and lawyers and all that, like, no. So it's like, to me, the safest thing is to just let these people who are in such a rush through. But then I met a really cool librarian, and it's like I kind of have a surprise because I asked some questions, but at the same time, I was developing a new character a couple like a maybe a half week ago, a few days ago. But now it has totally changed. And because especially I was getting more ideas at the function that I was at. And oh my gosh, I learned a lot. I'm really excited. And it's for personal but business reasons that I decided to go to it. But while going to this event, or not event, but it was more like a mini like learning lecture kind of thing. But she had the biggest smile and she noticed my wonderful fashionable shoes on my walker. So it's like you could just see that she brings sunshine everywhere she goes. It's like if I was going to compare her to a animated like cartoon character, and yes, I still say like I'm still working on it. I've already caught it like oh, see, I did it again about 5 times now. But yeah, I'm still working on it. Anyway, she kind of reminds me of Pinkie Pie or the Happy Care Bear. Yeah, I kind of get that vibe from her. Or even Inside Out, the happy one. Yeah, it's like she's just so like bright and wonderful and beautiful. Like you could just see how like pure her heart is and everything like that. So yeah, if she was in Aladdin, she would have been able to get that, that little gold thing easily. So anyway, yes, like I love Disney, but oh, and that reminds me, yes, like I need to watch Snow White, and yes, like there's a lot of good stuff at the theaters right now because oh, I love Toothless, so How to Train Your Dragon, and then I'm hearing some things about Lilo and Stitch too, about the colonization, yeah. So let's just say, yeah, I'm already kind of questioning that one. But back to the library. I like, yeah, she gave me a compliment. She was so sweet and nice. And it kind of gave me a little bit of, okay, even though people are kind of rushing you, they're right behind you, they're staring at you and pointing at you, whatever, just keep living your life. And so I go upstairs and everything, and I'm looking at the signs trying to, because I never been to this room before, or I guess I never noticed it. But lo and behold, I find it. And oh my god, like the people that were there, they were so interesting. I learned a lot, and especially even with how easily people used to get married back in the day. It's like the men today would have wished they existed back in those days because okay, I got to. Um, with one of them, she found out that one of her ancestors, he went on a walk every day, and he would see this woman sometimes on his walk. The first time he would see her, the second time he would see her, and the third time he would see her, but then he proposed and she said yes and they got married. Yes. They would pass by on their walks and he proposed the third time and then they got married. There's a little bit more to that, but yes, like maybe in a different episode. But I was like, I just remember I'm like, oh, I should have brought some popcorn. I'm like, what? What? It's like now with dating apps, it's like, nah, no. It's like most people just hope and pray that you're still talking to the same person by the third day, or that you make it to the third date, or that the guy is not only trying to date you until you give it up on the third date or whatever, okay. But to me, I'm like, this is getting juicy. And so, but yeah, I learned a lot and I have a lot of resources. So I'm kind of excited about, or not even kind of really excited. And talking to, some of the staff for like a little over the time period and everything. But I know I'm going to be back because as I research and stuff, like both for my fictional character and myself, this it kind of sounds like an exciting thing. And also, since with my Patreon, yeah, it's like if you check it out, like right now I have a lot of the screenshots for either the catfish and dating nightmares, but I'm going to be opening it up so we can start looking at cold cases, because that's one thing I really really want to do is like have like as many collaborators who want to come together to see how much we can help out with some cold cases. Can we possibly come close or even solve one or two? Help some people have closure and things like that. So hopefully, yeah, by the end of summer, I'm hoping to be able to have that up, just in time for the cozy weather, get that stuff. And also, I'm thinking, especially if I'm able to get this out for the fall season, I really want to do. I'm still trying to figure out what day because Mondays aren't that great, but I was thinking mystery solving Monday, but no. So I'm gonna try to think like, and Saturday, like a lot of people do things on Saturday, but then Sunday people try to get ready for. So yeah, I'm still maybe Friday, maybe Thursday, but and maybe I'll do it for shorter periods amount of time so that I can do it more than once a week, but on like different weeks, maybe two. Well, I'll detail it more or whatever, but yeah, so I love the library and the love how librarians are able to help provide resources and their knowledge and also their recommendations of how to gain the knowledge. But yeah, okay. I don't know, it's just yeah, today was such a cool and amazing day learning more about people in humanity versus disability and learning more about myself and even how a lot of people don't understand that I'm newly diagnosed and my disability is visible, and I met someone who also has a disability that I met there today, and oh my god, she is so amazing. And I know when something just happened, which I'll talk about in a minute. But I remember when I mentioned it to her, she is like she understood, but from a different perspective. And I love how I'm like, okay, so I know I'm learning how she sees it. Because even when I told my dad, I got to see how is like he is more able bodied than myself because he has kind of like invisible, um, disabilities. So it's like from coming from two people with more invisible disabilities is like they would have different perspectives from me. And so to me, that's cool. And I get to learn more about how other people see it and how they perceive it. And okay, here, because the thing is, like 4 or 5, other than when the kicking of the walker and stuff like that, it's like these are going to be totally different examples, but okay. I saw this one guy on the second floor while I was leaving out. He was studying and stuff. I am heading towards the elevator, gonna go downstairs, and I wanted to take my scooter, but since I wasn't sure if I was going to have the same ride home, I thought, okay, just in case, I will take my walker. And so that means that I'm going to be going a lot slower because, yeah, I'm still working on getting my leg right. So, yeah, physical therapy, Yeah, disability life, physical therapy life. So I am not too far from the exit doors, and the guy comes from behind me, and now he's in front of me, and he keeps walking. But then all of a sudden, he stops, and I thought maybe he forgot something. So I'm I'm still going my way. I'm still walking straight, whatever. And I see him turn around, and he calls out or yells out, do you need any help? And there was some silence because I was like, is he talking to me? Like, what? And so he kind of like put his hand out to, like, not in a pointing way, but his whole hand out in a way. Not kind of like a Prince Charming move, but yeah, it was kind of surprising to me because I'm looking at him like, even though I walk this way, doesn't mean I need a Prince Charming, doesn't mean I need a hero. I've got this. And I know I've said in another episode, with people with disabilities, a lot of us like being as independent as possible. And if we need help, we like I I've only needed help like 2 or 3 times. And from like the public especially. Like when it comes to my sister, she like she knows some of my weaknesses still when it comes to even stairs and things like that. So but she knows to ask first. She's like, do you need me? Or if we're in a hurry, sometimes she was like, okay, it's like, I don't know, it's like she knows how to talk to me to make sure that I'm like, okay, yeah, I need your help, let's do this. But I still will never forget. I think I told the whole story, but if I didn't, but during COVID, during vaccinations, we got our vaccinations at the stadium, the football stadium line for the Lions and stuff. And we are all set, and we are about to get back onto the golf cart because with my disability, we got to have like a free ride from the parking structure to the front doors and stuff because my disability is walking. And so when we're coming back, and oh, you also have to know that I just got diagnosed and I just started taking my medication and everything, but I hardly started physical therapy, so my legs are still kind of weak. And so trying to get onto the golf cart was kind of difficult because it's my first time. I'm still learning and learning how to adjust my body and everything. And I remember like my sister was looking at me, so I'm looking at my sister because I'm trying to get on, and it's like she's like asking me questions, but then all of a sudden, I feel a hand on my thigh, and I feel like my leg is being moved, and I'm kind of startled, and I was like I kind of look, and I mean it was the gentleman driving the golf cart, but it's like he was helping and he didn't mean anything at like bad. He had pure good intentions. But I just remember I was so startled because it's like he didn't say anything. He didn't ask nothing. It was just like, oh, okay. Oh, you need help with your leg? Let me get this up. And I will, if I'm not looking that way and I just feel a stranger's hand on my thigh. So it's like, I just remember I kind of jumped up a little bit, but it's like, I didn't go complain because part of me was like, again, he had a pure heart. He had a pure heart out of it. He didn't mean anything but having good intentions and stuff. But back to the library, because yeah, I'm comparing and contrasting because even though I'm walking with my walker and I walk pretty slow, I'm working on it. I'm working on my strength and everything, but I do walk slow. It used to irritate the mess out of me. But I have finally come to a point where like I have just realized that I have to be more patient with myself. And if I want to go to events and go to things, I have to go extra early because it's like, especially if I'm walking with my walker, if I have my scooter, oh, I know how to ride dirty. Yeah. It's like, but if I have to walk with my scooter, I know that I'm going to have to if I have to walk with my walker, I'm going to have to take my time. And so it was just kind of funny because next thing I know, I'm like, how are you gonna help me? Like, what's going on? Like, you see, I'm almost at the front door, and next thing I know, it's like he kind of looks like he's looking at outer space and stuff. And but then he replies, "Oh, um, with your bag. I can carry your bag. I'll carry your bag out for you. And he says a couple other things, but the bag part, like the bag just stayed in my mind. And everything else was out the door. I don't even like I might be able to figure out what else he said, but it's like part of me was just like, okay, so I'm a stranger. I'm a woman. I'm a single woman by myself with my bag and walker, and a stranger's coming up to me offering to carry my bag, like, mm, but, even though it's not heavy whatsoever, it's like a purse. It's a mini backpack. It's not heavy. I just walk slower because of my disability. So, because part of me was just like, and it's like, cause even like while he's saying it, he's shaking his head with his shoulders up, like I don't know. And so it's like I think he was just making offerings up as he went along. He was trying to figure out a way to help me, and I just didn't get that. So yeah, I'm just like, because part of me was going to reply, "Were you gonna pick me up and carry me to the car? What? How are you gonna help me?" But I didn't say that because I'm like, okay, he's probably just trying to be nice. But he just didn't know how he could help me. He's just asking if he could help me, maybe to make himself feel better or so that he can go home and not feel guilty. I don't know, because there was no way for him to help me. Absolutely no way he could help me other than literally picking me up and carrying me to the car. that is that's just about all he could have done. So, but anyway, lo and behold, about 15 minutes later, right after my friend gets picked, like after she leaves too, another guy is like, he's leaving out and he turns around and he says, "Can I help you?" And I'm like, for the love of God, like, what is going on today? And I'm like, why? What do you mean? Help me with what? And he even says, "Well, I see you with this." And he points at my walker. But I'm sitting, waiting to leave. And it's like, so you literally see, but he says, "Can I help you walk?" And I'm just like, what? And he points at my walker. And I'm just like, do you just think I need a break? Do you think I need to catch my breath? Do you think I'm exhausted? I'm confused. I don't know. Like, what are you, like, where are you getting at? How are you going to help me? It's like, I know how to get up and use my walker to get to where I need to go. So I don't know. I don't know. It was just really odd, really weird, but it was really nice though, because um where I live there's not too many of us, but there was a gentleman, an older gentleman. When he walked by, he just said, he's like, "Wow, I've seen one of the prettiest things today." He was like, "You have a beautiful day, miss." And so it's like, that kind of made me feel better, because especially in this dating world, when men tell me that I'm not good enough for them because of my disability, or they tell me I have to settle with, or even with my standards is to keep myself safe, because so many men tell me that I'm not supposed to be smart, I'm not supposed to invest, that I'm not supposed to adopt and stuff, and I'm only supposed to be able to take care of their children. And yeah, yeah, anyway. But then there was a sweet young lady, a young girl, and I didn't get her name, but she passed by me and she said, "You are so beautiful." And I told her she had a beautiful smile, because oh my gosh, it was radiant. But it's like, I didn't. It's like, I know, like, some, especially nowadays, you have to be careful and stuff, because she was beautiful. But I wanted to make sure she knew how beautiful her smile was. It was like, it was beaming and everything. So I just want to. I don't know if she would ever, like, once she turns 18, I don't know if she would ever listen to this episode. But she does not know how much I cherish that compliment because, again, her smile was so beautiful and radiant, and it was just like amazing. So, but yeah, that was kind of what happened at the library today. People asking me if I need help while and for walking purposes. And just know, I've said this, but just like in marketing and advertising, for people to understand or think about something or even thinking about buying something, many times they need to hear it or see it 7 times. So you're going to hear it again right now. With people with disabilities, and I say 7 times because I've said this several episodes, but people with disabilities, a lot of us try to be as independent as possible. Some don't. So it's like if someone says they need your help but they don't really need, hey, do you, boo. But I am still learning about my disability, and at the same time I'm still learning on new ways to be as independent as possible. And if I don't ask for the help, that's because I'm either trying to figure it out or I've got it. Majority of the times I've got it because I've practiced it, because I refuse to ask for the help, because that forces me to learn, that focuses me on even creating the puzzle of how to get this part of my life together to the point where I will be fully independent. And I'm not saying that's everybody. It's not. But I just ask, if you see someone with a disability, usually body language, it's like even though you see someone walking slower, that's not body language. That's not a sign. That just means they walk slower. If you see maybe they're hanging on to the walker, or they're breathing hard, or their pace like just, or you see that they keep having to sit down or rest, or they're leaning against the wall with the walker, then maybe you can ask them. But if you just see them walking slower, maybe that just means they're walking slower. Maybe that just means with that person, if you're ever going to hang around someone with that disability, you have to be a little bit more patient. Because trust me, I used to sprint, I used to run track, I used to play tennis, and just, I just dancing and everything. I used to move around. And so getting to this point with the disability, it's heartbreaking because I've had to learn a lot about patience and doing things a lot slower. But at the same time, the beauty of doing things slower, I've been able to look at and observe and study in a whole new ways that I don't think I would have years before. And my creativity, like sometimes I feel like I have to MacGyver things in order to accomplish something independently. And I enjoy the puzzle making of it. It's exciting, it's new. And especially when family members are watching me do it and them shaking their head because they know I'm stubborn and bullheaded. But at the end of the day, I'm me. And if you see someone with a disability, or if you do have a disability, if you need help, make sure it's like let someone know. But if you are being independent and you don't want anybody to help you, but then they come up to you, just let them know you got it. You have a right to let them know. They shouldn't have to force the help on you. Don't let them force the help on you. But you know the drill. This is the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human, and you're human too. Take care. And oh, yeah, go read a book, go to the library. Yeah, read.